Are you diving into Django and wondering about the performance of its ORM compared to raw SQL? You're not alone. Today, we're exploring the performance considerations of using Django's QuerySet versus writing raw SQL queries. I totally get it. Learning Django can be overwhelming, especially when you're trying to optimize your database calls. Many developers face the same dilemma. Should I stick with the ORM or switch to raw SQL for better performance? Let's break down the specific question at hand. One user asked, "At what point does it become faster to write my queries using parameterized SQL instead of using the ORM?" They provided a complex query example and are concerned about performance. Sound familiar? Let's tackle this together. So what's the deal with performance? The Django ORM is designed to make database interactions easier, but it does add some overhead. When your queries get complex, that overhead can slow things down. Let's explore when it might be time to switch to raw SQL. And stick around. I'll share a crucial tip at the end that can help you decide when to use raw SQL versus the ORM, so you won't want to miss it. To determine when to switch from Django's ORM to raw SQL, the user should first consider the complexity of their queries. Generally, if a query involves multiple joins, subqueries, or complex aggregations, it may be time to evaluate raw SQL. Next, the user should analyze the performance of their current ORM queries. They can do this by using Django's built-in query logging to see how long each query takes to execute. If the user finds that their ORM queries are taking too long, they should consider writing raw SQL for those specific cases. Raw SQL can be more efficient because it eliminates the overhead of ORM translation. Finally, the user should keep in mind that while raw SQL can improve performance, it also comes with trade-offs, such as reduced readability and maintainability. It's essential to balance performance needs with code clarity. Fun fact, the Django ORM is like a translator between your Python code and the database. Sometimes, though, even the best translators can struggle with complex sentences. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user agrees that the additional translation layer from ORM to raw SQL can impact performance. However, they note that the effect varies based on the complexity of your query. Using the ORM allows you to manage database load by shifting processing to the application, which also opens up opportunities for caching results. Ultimately, the decision to switch to raw SQL depends on your database schema, the complexity of your queries, and your scaling strategy. Here's the tip I promised. Always profile your queries. If you notice that the ORM is slowing you down, don't hesitate to switch to raw SQL for those specific cases. It's all about finding the right balance. And there you have it. You now have the tools to decide when to use Django's ORM and when to switch to raw SQL. Remember, optimizing your queries can lead to significant performance improvements. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips.